Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. You were not born by accident. You did not appear on this earth simply to survive, pay bills, and disappear. Woman, you carry a divine assignment. You were designed, created, and positioned with a purpose that cannot be replaced, duplicated, or erased. The tragedy of life is not death, but living without ever discovering why you were sent. And the greatest enemy of destiny is distraction. Today, I want to remind every woman listening, you are not ordinary. You are God's idea, walking on two legs, clothed in flesh, and equipped for an assignment that only you can fulfill. You are heaven's answer to a problem on earth, woman. You must understand something deep today. You were not born into this world without reason. Every time God allows a life to be born, it is because there was a specific need on earth that demanded a solution, and that solution came wrapped in a body. That body is you. Think about it. Problems don't exist in isolation. They exist to attract the right person who has the ability, the gifting, and the insight to solve them. Look closely at your own life. Every passion you carry, every talent that seems so natural to you, is a clue to why you are here. That's why some people excel in teaching, others in leadership, others in creating, others in nurturing. These things are not accidents. They are not just hobbies or coincidences. They are divine fingerprints, pointing directly to your assignment. When you notice a problem that breaks your heart, that disturbs your peace, that makes you say, somebody must do something about this, it is usually because you are that somebody. For example, when you see children struggling without guidance, when you see broken families, when you see businesses failing because of poor leadership, your discomfort is a signal. It means you were sent as an answer. You were not sent to complain about it. You were sent to confront it. Woman, you are heaven's response to a need on earth. And the tragedy of life is not death. It is living your entire existence without ever answering the problem you were born to solve. But I must remind you, your value is not found in what you achieve or in how others measure you. Your value is already established by the fact that you were born. Society will tell you that you are only valuable if you look a certain way, if you earn a certain income, or if you reach a certain level of status. But none of these things define you. Performance may give you applause, but purpose gives you identity. If you don't know who you are, you will always be at the mercy of what others think you are. That is why so many women spend years chasing approval, bending themselves to fit into molds that were never designed for them, and losing their true selves in the process. Let me give you an example. A diamond in the dirt does not stop being a diamond. Even if no one notices it, even if it looks like just another stone, its value is intact. But when someone recognizes it, polishes it, and places it in the right setting, the world begins to see what it was all along. Woman, you are that diamond. Even when overlooked, misused, or underestimated, your value has not decreased. Your worth is not determined by recognition. It is determined by design. And if you never discover that truth, people will misuse you. Remember this principle: when purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. And here's another truth: you cannot fulfill your assignment inside the comfort zone. Every great destiny is born in discomfort. Your assignment will call you to stretch beyond what feels safe. It will push you to take risks, to walk away from familiar surroundings, and to step into rooms where your knees may shake, but your spirit will rise. Look at every great accomplishment in history. It was birthed in risk. No one who played it safe ever changed the world. Fear will whisper, stay where it's safe. But purpose will demand, step out and trust. Think of the eagle. When it teaches its young to fly, it does not wait for the eaglet to feel comfortable. It stirs the nest. It removes the soft feathers. It makes the environment uncomfortable until the eaglet has no choice but to spread its wings. That's exactly what life will do to you when it's time to rise. Your job loss, that relationship that broke, that door that closed. It may not be punishment, it may be a push out of comfort and into assignment. And never forget this, your influence is not small. Every woman has the power of influence, whether she holds a title or not. Influence is simply the ability to shape minds, shape values, and shape decisions. Nations are not built in government halls alone. They are built in living rooms, in classrooms, in boardrooms, in conversations, in the quiet decisions a woman makes every day. You are influencing people whether you realize it or not. Think about it. A mother who instills wisdom in her child is influencing the future. A businesswoman who chooses integrity over shortcuts is influencing an industry. A teacher who believes in a student others overlooked is influencing destiny. Influence is the silent power that multiplies long after you are gone. That's why your assignment is never just about you. The choices you make, the values you live by, the courage you show, it sets the tone for generations. You may think you are just making small daily decisions, but those decisions echo far beyond your lifetime. Nations rise and fall depending on the wisdom or foolishness of women. That's why you cannot underestimate yourself. You carry seeds of greatness that will either elevate or diminish futures depending on how you steward them. The question is never, do I have influence? The real question is, what kind of influence am I leaving behind? Because your assignment is not simply for your own benefit. It is generational. Every gift inside you was meant to outlive you. You are a carrier of legacy, a planter of seeds, a builder of tomorrow hidden in the decisions you make today. Your value is not in what you do, but in who you are, woman. One of the greatest lies you will ever have to fight against is the lie that your worth is tied to your performance, to your achievements, or to what others think about you. From the time you are a child, society begins to program you get good grades, win awards, look beautiful, make money, climb the ladder, and then maybe, just maybe, you will be considered valuable. But the truth is this, your value existed before you ever did a single thing. Your value is not in what you do, but in who you are. Think about a newborn baby. That child has not accomplished anything yet. No degrees, no money, no status, no achievements. And yet, the moment that baby arrives, everyone rejoices. Everyone sees value in that little life. Why? Because value is not in performance. It is in existence. That child is already priceless simply because of who it is. And the same truth applies to you today. No matter how old you are or what mistakes you have made, the problem is that the world constantly conditions you to measure yourself by external things. If you get promoted, you feel worthy. If you look attractive according to culture's definition, you feel valuable. If people clap for you, you feel important. But the moment those things are taken away, insecurity creeps in and you start questioning your worth. That is because you are measuring yourself by the wrong standard. True worth cannot be given by man. And if man did not give it, man cannot take it away. Let me give you a picture. $100 bill in the hand of a beggar and a $100 bill in the hand of a millionaire still has the same value. You can crumple it, throw it on the ground, step on it, and yet it does not lose its worth. Why? Because its value was already printed, already sealed, already declared. In the same way, woman, no matter who mishandled you, no matter who overlooked you, no matter who doubted you, your value has not diminished. You may have been crumpled by rejection, stepped on by betrayal, or dirtied by life's disappointments, but like that bill, your worth remains intact. This is why it is dangerous to live for people's approval. If people can make you feel valuable, they can also make you feel worthless. Today they praise you, tomorrow they forget you. If you tie your identity to their applause, you will spend your life on an emotional roller coaster, never stable, always insecure. But when you know that your value is not in what you do, but in who you are, you stand firm, whether people recognize you or not. Consider a diamond. Before it shines in a jewelry store, it spends years buried in the dark under pressure, unnoticed by the world. Yet it is still a diamond. Even when hidden, even when rough, even when no one sees it, its essence does not change. Woman, you may feel like you are in the dark season of life. Maybe nobody notices your sacrifices. Nobody acknowledges your potential. Nobody applauds your efforts. But like the diamond, your worth is not determined by the stage you are in. It is determined by what you already carry inside. Let me be real with you. When you don't know your value, you will accept less than you deserve. You will tolerate toxic relationships because you think you're not worthy of respect. You will settle for jobs beneath your potential because you think you're not capable of more. You will silence your voice because you think no one wants to hear it. But once you understand your value, your standards change. You stop begging to be seen. You stop chasing validation. You stop tolerating disrespect. Why? Because a queen does not plead for recognition. She walks in it. Look at your daily life. How often have you judged yourself by how productive you were that day? If you did not complete the list, you felt like a failure. If you gained weight, you felt unattractive. If someone else got the promotion, you felt less than. But hear me clearly, your activity may fluctuate, your appearance may change, your positions may shift, but your essence, your core, your God-given value remains unshaken. You were valuable yesterday, you are valuable today, and you will still be valuable tomorrow regardless of outcomes. Stop tying your self-worth to temporary things. Your job can be taken, but your value cannot. Your beauty may fade, but your value cannot. People may walk away, but your value cannot. You are not what you drive. You are not what you wear. You are not what you earn. You are not what people say. You are who you were designed to be before the foundation of the world. And until you believe that, you will always live beneath your true potential. So the real work is not proving yourself to others. The real work is discovering yourself. You don't need to perform to be valuable. You need to awaken to the truth that you already are. You don't need more likes on social media. You need more clarity in your soul. You don't need to constantly do more. You need to realize that even if you paused, even if you rested, even if you stripped everything else away, you would still be priceless. Your value is not a paycheck, not a position, not a title, not an achievement. It is your very being. And when you finally see that, you stop living life chasing after people to tell you who you are, because you already know deep within yourself. Your assignment is bigger than your comfort zone, woman. One of the greatest barriers to fulfilling your divine assignment is the comfort zone. The comfort zone is a silent prison. It feels safe. It feels familiar, but it keeps you trapped. You were never designed to remain small, to repeat the same routines, to live inside predictable patterns. Every great destiny requires you to step out into the unknown, to stretch beyond what feels easy. Your assignment will never meet you in a place of comfort. It will always call you into a place of challenge. Think about it. When a child is learning to walk, they must leave the comfort of crawling. Crawling is safe. Crawling is easy. Crawling feels secure. But the moment they decide to stand, they wobble, they fall, they bruise their knees. Yet in that risk, in that shaking, they discover they can walk. If they never left the comfort of crawling, they would never experience the freedom of running. And this is exactly how life works. Every new level requires you to risk falling. Your assignment is always bigger than what you feel prepared for. That is why so many people run from it. They think, I'm not ready, I'm not qualified, I don't have the resources, I don't have the confidence. But hear this, you don't grow before the assignment, you grow inside the assignment. Growth does not come before responsibility, growth is activated by responsibility. You don't become strong and then step out. You step out and in the process you become strong. Look at the eagle. The mother eagle makes the nest comfortable at first, soft feathers, warm branches, easy surroundings. But when it's time for the eaglet to fly, she begins to remove the soft padding. She leaves thorns exposed. She stirs the nest until it becomes uncomfortable. Why? Because if the eaglet never feels discomfort, it will never learn to spread its wings. And when the mother finally pushes the eaglet out, it flaps desperately, it struggles, but soon it realizes it was born to fly. Discomfort is the training ground for destiny. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in your life will come disguised as discomfort. Losing that job may not have been rejection. It may have been redirection. That friendship ending may not have been abandonment. It may have been alignment. That door closing may not have been a curse. It may have been a call to step through a greater door. You prayed for growth, but growth always comes with stretching. You prayed for increase, but increase always comes with responsibility. You prayed for strength, but strength only comes by lifting weight. Look at your own life. How many times did you want to stay where you were because it felt secure, but life pushed you out? Maybe you were afraid to start that business, afraid to speak on that stage, afraid to walk into that opportunity. But deep inside you knew staying where you were was slowly suffocating your potential. Fear will always whisper, stay where it's safe. But destiny will always demand, step out and trust. The comfort zone offers safety, but it also guarantees smallness. The unknown feels risky, but it is the only place where growth is possible. Imagine a seed. As long as it stays on the shelf, it looks clean, it looks whole, it looks unbroken. But it will never fulfill its assignment. Only when that seed is buried in the dirt. Only when it is pressed in darkness, only when it cracks open and loses its original form, does it release the life hidden within. The seed must leave the comfort of its shell to reveal the forest inside. Woman, your potential will never be revealed while you remain in comfort. You must allow life to press you, stretch you, and even break you, because that is how the greatness inside you is released. And yes, stepping out of your comfort zone will bring fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward even while you are afraid. The truth is, if the assignment doesn't scare you, it's probably not from God. If the dream doesn't feel bigger than you, it's not really your assignment. Your purpose is supposed to feel overwhelming because it requires you to depend on something greater than yourself. You will never feel fully ready, and that's the point. Readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. Look at history. Every woman who ever shifted culture, every leader who ever changed society, every voice that ever transformed generations, none of them did it from a comfortable place. They were criticized, misunderstood, opposed, and challenged, but they pressed forward anyway. They understood that staying safe is never the path to significance. Ask yourself, what are you clinging to because it feels familiar, even though it's killing your growth? What habits, what relationships, what routines are keeping you small because you are afraid to step out? Comfort may give you peace for a moment, but it will cost you destiny in the long run. You can't afford to play it safe. You can't afford to shrink yourself. You can't afford to silence your own potential. Your assignment will always pull you out of the shallow waters into the deep. The deep is where the storms are, but it is also where the treasures are. The shallow feels safe, but nothing significant grows there. You must be willing to launch out, to risk, to stretch, to fall, and to rise again. Because the assignment on your life is not small, and it was never meant to fit inside the boundaries of your comfort. Your influence shapes generations, woman. You must realize that your life carries a weight far beyond what you see in the mirror. Every word you speak, every decision you make, every value you uphold is shaping lives that you may never even meet. Influence is not just about standing on a stage or holding a microphone. It is about the quiet power of example, the unseen ripples that flow from your daily choices. You may think you are only living for yourself, but in reality, you are planting seeds that will grow in the lives of others, seeds that will outlive you. Your assignment is not just personal, it is generational. Think about it. A mother who decides to instill discipline in her children is not just shaping their character for today. She is influencing the kind of parents they will be tomorrow. A woman who chooses to forgive instead of holding bitterness teaches everyone around her the power of freedom over bondage. A leader who chooses integrity in her business sets a standard for the people who work under her, who will carry those values into their own families and communities. Influence is never neutral. It is always shaping something, for good or for destruction. Your life is like a stone dropped into water. At first, it seems small, just a single drop, but the ripples spread far and wide, touching places you cannot see. The way you live is doing the same. That is why you cannot underestimate your role. You may think, I am just one woman. What difference can I make? But every great movement in history began with just one person deciding to live differently. The woman who teaches a child to believe in themselves may unknowingly be raising the next leader who will impact millions. The woman who starts a small community project may ignite a fire that transforms an entire city. Influence does not measure size, it measures impact. Look around in your daily life. You influence without even realizing it. When you speak hope to a friend who is discouraged, you are shaping how they see themselves. When you choose kindness to a stranger, you may be the reason they believe goodness still exists in the world. When you refuse to compromise your values, you give silent permission for others to stand strong as well. Even your silence influences. Even your presence influences. People are watching you. Your children, your coworkers, your neighbors, your community. They are learning from the way you handle pressure, the way you treat people, the way you carry yourself when life gets heavy. And here is the truth: influence is more powerful than authority. Authority is a title, but influence is a spirit. Authority can be given and taken away, but influence is eternal. Authority may change with seasons, but influence will outlive you. That is why you must be careful with it. Nations rise and fall because of influence. Families thrive or collapse because of influence. Generations succeed or struggle because of influence. The words you speak today may echo in the ears of your grandchildren tomorrow. The standards you set now may become the foundation your great-grandchildren stand on. Consider this example. A woman who decides to break the cycle of poverty by pursuing education or building a business is not just changing her own life. She is rewriting the story for her descendants. Her children will walk on a higher level because she dared to rise. On the other hand, a woman who gives in to self-doubt, who chooses to remain small, who accepts less than her potential, may unintentionally pass on that same mindset to those who look up to her. What you tolerate, your children may embrace. What you compromise, they may accept as normal. Your influence becomes their inheritance. You don't need a platform to have power. Some of the most powerful women in history were not the ones with the loudest voices, but the ones with the strongest values. A grandmother who prayed, a teacher who believed in her students, a friend who encouraged someone in their darkest hour. These are the hidden influences that have shifted the course of nations. Influence is not about being seen. It is about leaving something behind. And never forget, the weight of your influence is not measured only in the big moments. It is measured in the small, daily choices. The way you treat your own body teaches others how to honor theirs. The way you handle conflict shows others whether peace or chaos should rule their lives. The way you persevere through storms shows others what resilience looks like. You are constantly writing a manual for the next generation with the way you live. So, woman, ask yourself, what are you leaving behind? What stories will be told because of your life? Will people say, she was a woman of courage, a woman of wisdom, a woman who stood for truth? Or will they say, she played it safe, she followed the crowd, she wasted her potential? The choice is in your hands every single day. Your influence is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. You are not just living for yourself. You are shaping the blueprint of generations. The children you raise, the people you mentor, the lives you touch, the seeds you plant, all of it will continue speaking long after your voice has gone silent. And that is why you cannot afford to underestimate yourself. Even in the smallest actions, you are changing the world in ways you may never fully understand. Woman, listen to me. Your life is not an accident. You are not here by chance. You are not a mistake. You are an answer, a voice, a carrier of destiny. And the world is waiting for the manifestation of what you carry. Too many times life tries to convince you that you are insignificant, that you are replaceable, that your presence does not matter. But let me tell you this, if you were not needed, you would not be here. The very fact that you are breathing right now is proof that there is still an assignment in you that has not yet been completed. Greatness is not something reserved for a select few. Greatness is hidden inside everyone who dares to believe that they were born for more. You are not small, you are not ordinary. You are not just existing. You are destined to influence, to shape, to build, to change. Do not waste your life waiting for permission to be great. The day you decide to rise, that is the day history begins to shift. You cannot afford to live life casually, because casual living creates casualties. You cannot afford to shrink yourself just to make others comfortable. Never apologize for the magnitude of your dream. Never apologize for being powerful. Never apologize for carrying more than others expected of you. The world does not need another copy. It needs the original you. You were born an original, so why die a duplicate? Think about it. Every invention we celebrate today was once an idea that someone dared to believe in. Every leader we honor was once an ordinary individual who decided to rise above fear and step into courage. And every legacy that still speaks today was built by people who understood that their time on earth was short, but their influence could be eternal. You too carry that same potential. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is whether you are willing. Fear will always whisper to you, stay small, stay silent, stay safe. But faith roars louder, rise, speak, stretch. Go. You cannot allow fear to have the final word in your life. Fear kills more dreams than failure ever could. Failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. Failure is learning. Failure is progress in disguise. Do not let the possibility of failing stop you from the certainty of succeeding. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory over fear. Your assignment is not something you stumble upon. It is something you uncover by moving, by stepping, by daring. If you wait until you feel ready, you will wait forever. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. The greatest tragedy is living without ever discovering why you were born. Too many graves are filled with unwritten books, unsung songs, unlived dreams, unfulfilled visions. Do not let yours be one of them. Leave this earth empty, having poured out everything inside you. And hear me clearly, you are not defined by your past. You are not limited by your mistakes. You are not imprisoned by your failures. Every scar you carry is not proof of defeat. It is proof of survival. The fact that you are still here means you overcame what was meant to destroy you. Do not hide your scars. They are the evidence that you are stronger than what tried to break you. Someone needs your testimony. Someone needs your story. Someone needs your voice. What you survive becomes someone else's survival guide. So rise. Rise above fear. Rise above doubt. Rise above insecurity. The world does not need another woman who plays small. The world is desperate for women who will embrace their divine assignment with courage and conviction. You are more powerful than you know. You are more influential than you realize. And you are more necessary than you can imagine. Do not waste your life trying to fit into places you were born to stand out in. Do not dim your light to make others feel comfortable in their darkness. Your light was not given to you to be hidden. It was given to you to shine, to lead, to illuminate paths for others. When you rise, others rise. When you walk in courage, others are inspired to do the same. When you fulfill your assignment, you give permission for others to discover theirs. Woman, this is your time. This is your moment. This is your season. Stop waiting for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect, because perfection is a myth. Start with what you have, where you are, and with who you are. You already carry everything you need to begin. Remember this, ships are safe in the harbor, but ships were not built to stay in the harbor. They were built to sail. And you were not built to remain hidden, afraid, or silent. You were built to soar, to lead, to influence, to leave your mark on history. The graveyard is full of potential that never came alive. Do not let the grave rob the world of your gift. Live full so you can die empty. Woman, you were sent for this. You were sent for now. You were sent with an assignment. Answer the call. Rise to the challenge. Step into the unknown. And never forget, your life is the evidence that the world still needs what only you can give.